It's an off-colored remark. It's highly inappropriate.
Folks, you saw him, my guest. You saw him open the show. That's right. On a Wednesday, that's the great Lee Priest. You want to stick around for this episode because we've had many guests on. Nobody had more colorful stories. 8 minutes into it, I'm like, Jesus, he's more of a maniac than he looks. It's so goddamn funny. So without further ado, here's Lee Priest. My guest today, ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting to talk to this guy face to face for a long time because he's been a great fan of mine and he has supported this show for a long time. Excuse me. Former International Federation bodybuilder, professional bodybuilder. He's world known, folks. He won his first competition when he was 13 years old. That means he was juicing when he was 12. His mom was a bodybuilder. At 19, he won Mr. Australia, moved to L.A. He's done everything you can do. He's been in a few movies and whatnot. And if you want to know more about the guy, you go to Sam's Fitness on YouTube channel. And it's the great Lee Priestley. There he is in all his handsomeness. Lee, great to talk to you. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you. I have to apologise that there's two of us cunts here. Look at this ugly one. I apologise because you're not seeing double. I can't get it off somehow.
It looks like you're being sacked by J.J. Watt. That's an American football reference. Very good to talk to you. And I just want to talk, before we get into politics and all that horse shit, I just want to, your journey has been pretty amazing as far as the bodybuilding stuff. And it said in your biography that your mom was a bodybuilder too. Is that right?
Yeah, because as you said, I started competing at 13, and by the time I was 17, my mother's like, she was like me, she liked to eat, so she was a little bit fat, but, we enjoy our food down here.
Of course.
She goes, if I ever get in shape, can I come on stage with you? And me being 17, thinking, I don't want to be on stage with my mother. I'm like, yeah, you do it and I'll do it. So 8 months later, she got in shape, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to go and compete with my mother now. So we had to go on stage. We're the first mother and son in the world to win a title together. And she tells the story because before we went on stage, I just won the Mr. Australia at 17. And she's on the other side of the stage. I'm on this side. I can see she's nervous. So I walk around, and in one of her interviews, she goes, I thought my son was coming to give me encouragement. And I just looked at her and said, Mum, don't you fuck this up on me. And I walked away.
I love it. So was she like in bodybuilder shape or like swimsuit model shape or?
No, bodybuilder
Really?
shape. So.
Really?
Yeah.
How about, I don't even know if you had a dad. How about your dad?
Oh, my dad, well, that's a funny story because they were married. Well, my dad's gay. He's been with his partner for over 40 years.
No kidding.
And that's why I believe in fate a lot, because my mum met my dad at church. They sort of knew he was gay, but maybe they thought they could pray the gay away. Who knows? Whatever. So, but at 4 years, I have a sister that's 2 years older than me. And then I was born, and then they separated, and he went on his gay way. So I've said before, it's a matter of timing and fate, because if my mum didn't meet my dad when she did and tried to make him straight, there would be no Lee Priest. I could have been shot over some guy's back or spat out on a bathroom floor. It's like, it's all a matter of timing, Nick. I could have ended up somewhere where I shouldn't have been.
You could have been a stain on the wallpaper at the Hyatt in Melbourne. Oh my God! Interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting.
I could have been a lot of places, but here I am.
Let me ask you a question. Well, it's funny because when I was a kid, we always, I sent away for those. I got those muscle magazines, and I sent away for this thing where I'd get once a month. They'd send me a booklet on what to eat, drink, and exercises, and it was like it was kind of an athlete male thing, but it's sort of, I don't know if it's true in Australia, but it sort of morphed into this gay thing in the United States later on. And I'm just saying, I'm trying to connect your dad with this. Did he ever go to your competitions and go, hey, can I meet the guy that came in 5th place?
Now, because my real name legally was McCutcheon.
Right.
When I started competing, I used my stepfather's name, Priest, which was easier.
Ah.
So for like a lot of my competing career, my dad disowned me because I changed my name. So he didn't go to. He only went to one show in 2005 when I came back home, and I told the announcer, "Listen, my dad's here. So can you pronounce my name, Lee Priest McCutcheon? Throw his in too. So maybe you'll give him a Woody or something." God knows, it made him happy. So he probably went home and did his lover extra hard that night because I used his name. So.
There's a lot going on here. You got your dad was gay. His name was McCutcheon, but then your stepdad's name is Priest. Bodybuilder, gay, priest. Do you see where I'm going with this? There's 19 elements that could. He's got a prop.
I see where you're going, Nick. I see where you're going. He's disappeared. I got the Pope.
Oh, jeez.
Stop it. Stop that.
The body of Christ. No, it's not. It's your dick. That's.
But I say
he's got the Pope for a prop. God damn it.
I think I messed up though, Nick, because I think when I was 9 years old, women that do all the waxing.
Yeah, the waxing, yes.
That just come out, so my mum thought she would wax her leg. So at 9 years old, I came home from school, and you meant to put a little bit on, then rip it off.
Yeah.
My mother, she melted the whole pan of wax, and she covered her legs from waist to ankles in wax.
Oh, geez.
So I come home from school, she's naked, stuck to the kitchen floor, covered in wax. I had to use a spatula. To get my mother off the kitchen floor. No wonder I'm fucked up.
Oh, my God. And she was naked.
Naked. So imagine your mother naked stuck to the kitchen floor, and I got to get her off with a spatula to put her in a hot bath.
Well,
and she was peeling the wax off, and her legs were bleeding. It was very traumatic.
I got a woman off with a spatula once, but it wasn't the kitchen floor. That is, oh my God, that is. I'm just picturing that, and I'm guessing she's a good-looking lady, for some reason.
No.
Huh?
I don't know. I've never looked at my mum that way, but maybe if I was from the Appalachians or something, I might have found her attractive.
I guess that's true. I'm a third party just thinking of a naked lady on the floor. Well, I mean, was she in bodybuilding shape when that happened? Or no, she was kind of a chubby.
No, she wasn't. No, she was in the normal mother shape. Not very attractive, Nick. I didn't get 9-year-old wood. I wasn't trying to go back to where I come from. That's for sure.
We're talking the great Lee Priestley. Lee Priestley. What the fuck where'd I get Priestley?
You're thinking of 902.
Oh yes. Lee Priest. Lee, let me again before we get into the other shit. It's always fascinated me bodybuilding, and obviously you got to do steroids to compete.
Yeah.
Now, when you were 19, I mean, you were already juicing. Were you worrying about your liver or your kidney? It amazes me how many guys just said, "Fuck it, I'm going for it." Tell me that. I guess I played football in college up at University of Maine. A lot of my fucking teammates were juicing, and I'm going, you're gonna blow your kidneys out for the University of Maine? This isn't University of Miami, you fucking idiots. But I'm telling you, looking back on it, if I could do it again, I would fucking juice because I don't know, Stallone is still alive, Schwarzenegger's still alive, and you look fucking healthy. Tell me, were you a little nervous about that, or not? You didn't even think about it.
Well, I really knew, because once I got to that level and I was going professional, I knew all the other pros were doing it. So to keep up, I figured I had to take it. But I heard the large amounts some of them were taking. I'm like, some were taking 2,000 milligrams a week. I took 400. So when I tell people I took 400, they don't believe it. They're like, oh, you had to be taking more. But people with good genetics don't need a lot, but people think more is better, but it doesn't work that way. So I'd always get my blood work done, get checked out every 6 months, then every year, get my heart checked. So touch wood, I come out of it somewhat safely. Physically, anyway. Mentally, I'm a fucking wreck. But you know,
yeah. Well, that goes with the territory. I wouldn't be talking to you if you weren't a mental wreck. We don't like fucking.
Hey, you like
people.
that? Like that cup?
That is
Thank you.
Let me tell you. Tell your mother to put some wax in that cup. So you said you'd get your heart checked and stuff. Was that by legitimate doctors, or was that some guy at the gym charging people $100 behind a locker? Was it a real doctor? And what are if it's a real doctor, what's the advice they gave you? Any?
Well, I get the CT scan where they put the contrast in and they look at the heart, because most athletes have what's called an athlete's heart. You have an enlarged heart. And most people think having a bigger heart would be healthier, but actually the bigger your heart is, it gets weaker. So it's
that's right.
catch-22. So I always get it checked. They said that my last checkup, my heart had actually improved, because pretty much steroids was the only drug I did. I never drank. I never smoked. It wasn't until I was 42 I met a girl who introduced me to cocaine, and that was a whole. Let me tell you, the first time I used cocaine, Nick, now this is a story. I figured I'll give it a try. I'll go home. So I get the cocaine on the table. I position myself on the couch. I put porn on, and I'm watching the porn, doing a bit of coke. Now I'm yelling at the TV like you can hear me. You dirty fucking whore, take it. But I'm getting aroused, so I figured, you know what, I might as well have a wake while I'm watching it. So I go get the lube, and I start tugging it. Then I'm like, fuck, this makes you soft. This is fucking useless.
That's right.
So, hey, brainwave kicked in. I looked down at my gym shoes. I've got a shoelace. So I tied one end of the shoelace around the end of my cot, the other end of the coffee table, and I started stroking it like a barber sharpening his fucking blade. I'm stroking it like that. But as I'm stroking it, I looked across, and my cat's sitting there. And I said, don't you fucking judge me, as the cat's looking at me. So I'm watching porn. I'm yelling at my cat, doing cocaine, and I busted out laughing, thinking, if I die right now, this is how my mother's going to find me, with my cock tied to the coffee table, cocaine on the table. What a way to go.
I was just going to make that joke. I know you walked in on your mother glued to the kitchen floor naked. That fucking made that's silly compared to what she would have found.
Oh, imagine that story telling your friends the coffee.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're at the funeral. Well, he died loving what he died doing what he loved, tying his cock to some furniture. Oh, my aching stem! Holy fucking shit! Then you moved. Again, we're talking to Lee Priest, bodybuilder, and funny as a fuck. Then you moved to L.A. How old were you when you went to L.A.? Because I lived in, I'm guessing you might have went to Venice Beach with the rest of the muscleheads.
Yeah, Venice.
I lived there for 1 year. I thought I was going to be a star. I was in comedy about 4 years. Arsenio Hall put me on a show 3 times. He loved me. So I told my girlfriend at the time, see ya, I'm fucking going to L.A. And I said, don't come out with me. I go out there. It was the worst fucking year of my life. Venice Beach, I still to this day, when I go to LA, I won't go near Venice Beach. I just had the worst year. My girlfriend, I was out there, but I didn't know anybody. After about fucking 2 months, I'm calling her at 3 in the morning. You know, it's midnight LA, 3 where she lived. Her dad would answer the phone and go, no, she's out with a guy named Brian. He was really sticking it to me and shit. And I was missing her. I didn't know anybody. I'm in a basement apartment right near the fucking beach on Ocean Ave or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
This is the only good thing about it. I was so depressed. It was like that movie Swingers. My friends were trying. The one guy I knew was trying to get me out of the house to go to titty bars, and I just wanted my girlfriend, and I was a sad sack of shit. And I would sit in a wife beater against the wall. I wouldn't even sit on my furniture. I was so depressed. I didn't shower and shave. I think I went 11 or 12 days. And I would fucking go, Lee, I would go running on that bike path on Venice Beach right along the ocean. I was running 6 miles every morning. It's the most ripped I ever got. I wasn't eating because I was depressed, but I was running out of anger, and I had a nice tan. I have a clip of me on the third Arsenio. I look like a fucking movie star. And Dave Attell ran into me. He was out there doing some business, and he almost said he didn't recognize me. When he fucking ran into me on Venice Beach, I was sitting on a bench with my head between my legs. It was... I had such a horrible time there. They would close the beach every Sunday because of gang activity.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just so.
That.
I'm in a basement apartment in Venice. You'd want to be seeing the ocean. I'm seeing people's feet walk by on a 108-degree day, and I'm just sitting there. So I just fucking packed up, went back to L.A. But you were hanging out with were there some big names out there that you hooked up with? Was Ferrigno or those guys out there? Or?
Yeah, I trained with Ferrigno a bit and Arnold. I'd see Arnold every day at the gym. And
no shit.
Him shit. And like I did, when he redid his encyclopedia of bodybuilding, I did a lot of photos in the book for him. And as I'm training, doing the photos for him, Arnold would tell the photographer, stop. And he would come over and wipe my sweat off. He'd say, carry on. Stop. He'd come over, put oil on me. I said to the photographer, I said, fuck the training pictures. Every time Arnold wipes my sweat off and puts oil on me, get me photos of that so I can be Arnold's my bitch. Look at him, putting oil on me.
That is fucking unbelievable. I was at Gold's Gym because I belonged to Gold's Gym on Venice Beach.
That was at World. I started at Gold's, but then there was too many wankers in there, too many egos. So I went down to World Gym. It was just Arnold, Lou Ferrigno, all the old guys like him pumping iron. So it was great fun there. And I used to love it because Arnold had a place. Joe Gold made him a parking spot as this big marble slab with his name in it. So some mornings we'd put flowers on it like he had died. He'd come up the stairs and get all fucking mad. It's like
you fucking idiot.
But it really used to get on with good was when I was at Gold's. Dennis Hopper used to train there. Now, he was a funny guy. And Dennis Hopper.
Who's
He'd always come up.
Dennis Hopper.
He'd come up behind. He'd come up behind me, and be like, psst. I'm like, what? I'll turn around. He's like, the paparazzi are outside Lee. Would they recognise me today? You had on a black hat, big glasses, black pants, black T-shirt with actor written across the front of it.
That is unreal, man. I saw Schwarzenegger once at Gold's. He came in, he was standing at the front desk or some shit, and I just like fucking put the weights down. I'm doing 30-pound curls. He's gonna call me a bitch. Saw him at the front desk, and then he left. Did you live right on Venice Beach?
Yeah, I lived right on there. The guy that owned Gold's had a place there, so I lived right on there. So the balcony was right where that bike path was.
Yes.
And people would ask me, what do you do for a living? How do you afford this place? I didn't want to say I'm a bodybuilder, so I'd be like, I'm a fucking rugby player. I come from Australia. Now I'm playing with the NFL and bullshit like that. They're like, you're not very tall. I'm like, but I'm fucking fast. I'd make up the most bullshit stories.
That's what everybody did in L.A. Everybody fucking lied about what they were doing.
Oh, yeah. Every waitress was a fucking actress.
Oh, my God. I used to go on auditions just to fucking meet girls. I would go on audition. I remember going on audition for some commercial, and I had to walk down a hallway. There was another casting going on for Tropicana sun lotion. I had to run a gauntlet of girls. The ugliest one was a 12 on the scale of 10, and they were all about 19. I fucking banked so much of that, jerked off for about a year, and of course I blew the audition, but that's not the point.
I was in Venice for like 9 years, and I used to have to do a lot of magazine cover shoots with girls. And I was on the cover of Muscle and Fitness once with Joe Weider was there. Joe Weider that started the whole bodybuilding thing. Yeah. These two girls, and I always thought it was a cliche, dumb blondes, but I tell you, these were like fucking dumb as fucking box of rocks. I mean, but the idea was the picture he wanted was me shirtless, my arms are out like this. The girl is sitting across the back of my neck doing the splits while I'm trying to hold her, flexing my muscles, covered in oil. I'm like, if it wasn't for her vagina stuck to the back of my neck like an octopus, she would have fucking fell off, I think. It was like a suction cup. Had to
like Jesus on the dashboard.
Yeah.
Oh my friggin'! I wanted to ask you about Joe Weider. Now, is Joe Weider gay? Is it
No,
gay?
I think his brother might have been a little, but Joe was he was never. But Ben, I heard the rumours about, but Ben was really into Napoleon. He's like a Napoleon historian, and he had Napoleon's hat and all this other stuff. And Joe Weider, actually, even though Joe Weider was Jewish, he was really into Hitler. He was into Hitler memorabilia and stuff like that. So.
For those of you on Mug Club, stick around for the second half of the interview with Lee Priest. The rest is, you're going to miss it. But if you don't want to, go to nickdip.com, click, sign up for, it'll tell you how to sign up for Mug Club. And if you do that, you're going to get the rest of this show, Steven Crowder's full show, which includes Alex Jones popping in and out, Brian Callen, and he's got the undercover team that breaks the national news, all that. And while you're at nickdip.com, click on the tour button, and you can see that on November 9th, I will be at the Bridgeview Center Theater in Ottumwa, Iowa. Can't wait to be there. That's right, November 9th. So for those of you who on Mug Club, stick around. Here's the second half of my interview with Lee Priest.
Hi, good night, everybody.